True Grit, the remake. The Coens made a traditional Western like merely 3 years after they deconstructed the genre with No Country for Old Men. God love them. So I like to call this the first installment of the I can barely understand a word Jeff Bridges is saying duology, which also includes Hell or High Water. And he fills big shoes. It would be tough to say that I like Jeff Bridges better than John Wayne, and it would be tougher still to pretend that the preference is for anything other than sentimental reasons. But still, if John Wayne could somehow have been in this version of the movie, I think we'd have not necessarily the perfect Western, but certainly my perfect Western. Anyone who has seen the 1969 version knows that nearly every other casting update is, to put it mildly, a blessing. Haley Steinfeld gives probably the best performance in the film and makes her character likable and easy to root for, which is a lot more than Kim Darby could say. And I should think it also goes without saying that Matt Damon makes for far better support than Glenn Campbell. Now, much of what is great about True Grit ought not need to be stated. This film is a good example of my personal film bro belief that, to put it crudely and a little insultingly, Tarantino is for teenagers and the Coens are for adults. And that's coming from someone who loves Django Unchained. There's room for both, of course, but this is undeniably a more mature, rewarding movie that doesn't leave you questioning whether enjoying it killed your brain cells, which Tarantino's pulpier style occasionally does. Now, that's not to say that the Coens haven't made one or two horrendously bad movies in their day, and Tarantino one or two amazing ones, because of course that's the case. Now, in addition to better cinematography, a better score, and better production design, this version of True Grit jumps into the middle of many scenes that the original spends far too much time setting up. So the story moves along faster. And we are not even introduced to the main villain, who's Josh Brolin in an extended cameo, until the last 20 or so minutes. But because we all know who Josh Brolin is, we know his character means business, so this is okay. Now, the movie ends on a dreary note compared to the John Wayne film, and this is nevertheless a more fulfilling experience because it actually has a theme by the time the credits roll. The theme being something like the passing of time and the brief, powerful connections that we make with people who accompany us on life's adventures and then we never see them again. John Wayne ends his True Grit by calling cheerfully, "Well, baby sister, come and see a fat old man sometime." And then the following triumphant music and freeze frame suggests, of course, that Maddie will come and see Rooster again. This True Grit ends exactly the opposite. We know for a fact that Maddie and Rooster never saw each other again once their journey ended. And the movie isn't exactly sad about it either. It doesn't seem to feel any particular way. It leaves us to decide how to feel for ourselves. And I think that's what all the great movies do.